Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to another episode, Season 4, Episode 39. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day slash night slash morning, depending from where you guys are located. But guys, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about Barcelona's UCL match against Borussia Dortmund tomorrow. Will Barcelona be advancing to the semifinals of the Champions League? I also want to have a debate in regards to Ter Stegen versus Szczęsny. Who should Barcelona have in goal if Ter Stegen he does recover and he is fully fit? Is it Szczęsny or is it Ter Stegen? And as well, I want to be talking about Alejandro Balde because Alejandro Balde he is injured. Of course, Gerard Martin is going to be replacing him, but I want to be talking about the impact that injury is going to have on the team, and as well, how ready are we, seeing Gerard Martin and what can he give us? But Sake and NJ, welcome guys to the stream. How are you guys doing? Is everything good?
Can you hear me?
Yes, NJ, I can hear you
Yeah,
perfectly
I'm
fine.
good, man.
Uh-huh.
Hello to both of you guys. Good so far. Just chilling, just studying, and do my thing. Yeah,
Perfect. I'm glad you're having a good day. Sake, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just looking forward to the games.
Okay, it's going to be super exciting. Barcelona, they have a very good advantage for the Barça for tomorrow's UCL match against Borussia Dortmund 4-0 lead. Now, I want to go to you first, NJ. How are you feeling ahead of tomorrow's match? I'm feeling very confident. I think the team is very confident, and I honestly think we could do something special tomorrow.
yeah. To be honest, tomorrow's game, like I like Dortmund, but the thing is, like, they're not the Dortmund that I want to face. But overall, it should be an all right game for us. It's just that you know how we are. When once we're like super confident, they're gonna concede a dumb goal, but overall, we should be able to win it tomorrow, to be honest, and go to the semis with no problems.
Okay. Sasuke, how are you feeling ahead of tomorrow's match? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Talk to me.
Yeah, pretty with the lead we have, I think I'm pretty confident. I'm just interested to see the dynamic of the team without Balde. How will they perform in a big European night? So let's see how do we do without Balde. Does Flick do something something with the squad in order to because we have seen Rafinha on the wing, both on the left wing and on the right wing, and he is not as good as that. Just like he's better behind the striker rather than on the wings. So let's see how does Flick gets best out of the Rafinha now, because I
Okay.
don't think he will be more as effective as he has been on the wings.
Okay. And I mean, okay, so let's talk about that Balde injury. And for those guys who haven't been keeping up to date and who just haven't seen the news, Alejandro Balde, he did pick up an injury against Leganes, a hamstring injury. And right now the reports are saying anywhere between 2 to 3 weeks. But some of the latest reports were a little bit more negative. They were more pessimistic about Alejandro Balde's injury. And right now the timeline is that the goal is for Balde to recover and be fit for Barcelona in the second leg of the Champions League of the semifinals if Barcelona do go through tomorrow. And so that would mean that he would miss tomorrow's match. He'd miss the Copa del Rey final against Real Madrid, and he'd potentially miss the first leg of the semifinals in the UCL. And so those are some of the key games that he would be missing. Potentially as well, the game against Real Madrid in in La Liga as well. And
Where is the
obviously,
first leg of the semi-final? Is it at home or is it away?
is it at home or is it away? Let me check right here if it's at home
Doesn't
or
really
away.
matter. He's gonna miss anyways.
Um, it's going to be away. It's going to be away. Yeah.
Then it will
It,
be
it,
more difficult for the team to cope up with the environment and away environment, and playing at home would be easy compared to the at away.
yeah. Playing it away, and the second leg is always more difficult. You're going to be going away and playing in your opponent's stadium. They're going to have the crowd in favor of them, and if they do have a favorable lead or anything, it just makes everything more difficult. But continue to talk about Balde's injury. I want to go to you, NJ. How do you think that that injury is going to impact the team? Because I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm anxious, but I am a little worried because Alejandro Balde, he's such a key player for Barcelona in that left hand side. He's a player who just commands that left wing, and who adds so much output for Barcelona offensively and as well defensively. That pace, that power. How many times has Barcelona hit teams on the counter, and Balde has been either at the heart of that or he's been involved. How do you think Balde's injury is going to impact us?
Yeah, obviously, like it will impact us for sure. Because again, like player like Balde is very important for our team. He's been important for us since the Flick reign. He's been playing. Continuously. Defending very well. He improved a lot in defensive lines, and offense is slowly improving. But you know what? It is what it is. We just have to deal. We cannot. The thing is, we cannot compare Jared Martin to Balde. Like, yes, we know that Jared Martin is such like just like at best, like a service player. But again, at this point, we cannot compare both of them because they play different style of left back football. The thing is, for me, is that yes, we know that most likely Martin will start, right? And the
Yeah,
thing,
Jerry
yeah,
Martin is going to be starting.
yeah, most likely, then for us, we all have to understand that when it comes to Martin, he will make a lot of mistakes, but defensively wise, he will be solid for sure, but he won't have this same IQ, same speed, same attacking prowess like how Baldi plays. But the moment that we all understand that, it will be easier for Martin to play. Simple as that. Because again, end of the day, as long as Martin does his job defending, yes, we will lose a lot of offense on it, but at the same time, Martin can play offense time to time. We know that he can show a little bit of it, but not consistently. But I feel like moving forward now that he has the chance to like play now consistently, like from Dortmund to what to like Copa del Rey or whatever the next Liga El Clasico, I felt like
Hmm.
now he will slowly improve and show that that he can be a great service for the team as a backup. That when his name is called up, he will produce, but not like the same level of produce like how Baldi does.
Okay, okay. Akil, just to respond, how many days is Balde going to be out for? So Balde, as Vanley said, he's going to be anywhere out between 3 to 4 weeks. That would be, I would say very negative, as he would be missing some key games. But NJ, I mean, Sake, what are your thoughts on NJ's, thoughts on Balde's injury? How do you think Gerard Martin's involvement and Balde's injury is going to affect Barcelona?
I think I think it will be very hard for team to replace Balde, especially with Gerard Martin. I think he's a decent player. He is young, but at least Hansi Flick gave him minutes here and there, so he would it would not be out of pocket to start him. Also, do you remember that fullback from Benfica, that
Cadenas.
guy from
Yeah.
Manchester United? I don't remember
Uh,
his name. He was
Yeah,
Carriers or something. No, something like
Cadenas.
that. His
Cadenas.
name. Yeah, yeah. So he was Carrera. So he was locking up Yamal in the I think first two games when he was playing, and when he got I think injured or suspended, then the replacement for him was Dal guy something. So when he came up, Yamal started cooking. He came on, Yamal started cooking the other guy. So I just hope something like that doesn't happen to Gerard Martin. At least he performs at a decent level.
No,
At least
it, it won't
be
happen
be
though.
good defensively. I think in the attack, we even without Balde, I think we can cope up with the attack. We can at least score goals. He just has
okay.
to be good defensively. That's what I think.
Oh wait,
Okay.
wait, wait, wait. I'm sorry to interrupt. Let's say right. Let's say in ten counterattacks. Would you agree that if Gerard Martin is able to stop a 3 or 4 stop of counterattack, is that good enough for Martin's quality? 4 out of 10
I think
counterattacks.
so. I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
but Eunice, welcome. Well, welcome onto the channel, guys. If you guys don't know, Eunice, he has his own channel, Barca Reacts. Absolutely fantastic content over there. He's another Barcelona creator. Absolutely lovely to have you on the channel tonight. And first, how are you doing? And then secondly, what are your thoughts on Balde's injury?
Wait, am I lagging or no?
Right,
You're
right there.
good.
Perfect. You're good.
You're good.
All right, all right. I mean, I'm doing fine, man. You know what I'm saying? Just another day. Barca. It is a big game tomorrow. I mean, even though we did most of the work in the first leg. It's still a big game, obviously. We can't choke, right? We have to get the job done. I'm doing fine, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure.
Okay, absolutely. And okay, so are you worried that Gerard Martin is going to be replacing Alejandro Balde in the starting lineup? Because I think Gerard Martin has been performing decently. I think he's been good.
Yeah,
He's been
for
solid
sure.
in these past couple of weeks, in these last couple of matches in which Hansi Flick, he has been trusting him. Just my worry is not necessarily of him necessarily playing badly. It's the lack of offensive output that a Balde can give you compared to a Gerard Martin, because Balde, he's completely different of a profile to that of of a Gerard Martin. How do you feel about that?
Man, you know what I would say? I would say that Gerard Martin, I just think that he's definitely played better than the start of the season. Like the start of the season, remember, Gerard Martin was looking like, how is this guy a left back over Alex Valle? But right now, I think that, the past couple games, Gerard Martin, especially the last one, Leganes, he got that great tackle that led to the goal. I think he'll be fine, actually, to be honest, for the most
Yeah,
part.
he should be.
Okay.
He
I know
should be
Balde is
fine.
going to do good, right? Balde's been doing good recently also in 2025, right? But I think that Gerard Martin, the only game that I worry about is that El Clasico, really. That's
I
really
mean,
it.
yeah. I mean, that's
Even
a
versus
given.
Milan, I think he'll do good. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that's given.
Okay. Van Lee, he says the problem with Gerard is not defensive. He
Yeah, it's
shrinks
not.
the pitch on offensive and changes how Rafinha operates. And I think that is where my mindset goes. I think Gerard Martin is going to be doing solid defensively, but he's going to have to step up, and
Oh,
this
for
is going
sure.
to be a big test for him, because he hasn't been involved in these big
Yeah,
occasions.
but that's the
Copa del
best
Rey
part of it, though.
final.
That's the best part of it, Elias. Now,
In
now,
what
now
sense?
he has the chance to show that that he can be a great backup service
Mm-hmm.
for the team. Even if he gets cooked, who cares if he gets cooked? As long as he's able to stop this 4 or 5 at counter attack, he should be a great service. Because again, this is how players dream about. You want to play for big clubs. This is your chance. Even if you get cooked, it's normal because you'll get cooked by big players. But at the same time, if you're able to show defense, show that you're focused, you're able to add value to
Mm-hmm.
the team. You should be good to be a service for the team.
And I
Okay.
also want to add this real quick. Gerard Martinez's passing is actually decent. Like
Yeah, it's good, man.
Yes.
I'll say the one thing he has over Balde is that I think his final ball is actually more consistent. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Everything else
Yes.
Balde is better at. But remember, like recently, it was he whipped in a ground cross, right? And Lewandowski left it, and Ferran Torres scored. I forgot the team it was against, but
Was it?
was it also?
Las Palmas?
I'm not sure.
No, I mean the last moment that
Girona, it was Girona. It was Girona, I believe.
Girona, yeah.
Girona. I mean, the last moment that I'm picturing Gerard Martin is when he scored.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that
Real
one.
Sociedad.
What was it?
Real
Yeah,
Sociedad he
Sociedad.
scored.
Okay, yeah.
The
Almost
4-0,
got
the
the
4-0.
assist.
Yeah, the 4-0.
Absolutely. But Christopher, welcome onto the stream. How are you doing? How do you think that Gerard Martin is going to be performing in these next upcoming games? Do you think that he's going to be able to handle the pressure of playing for Barcelona in these big games, or do you think necessarily like saying, "Hey, this is something that we have to be worried about"? What do you think? Oh, Christopher, you're muted.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
perfect.
All right, cool. So, yeah, he had his big opportunity against Leganes, and he has another opportunity coming up against Dortmund tomorrow, right? So, look, is he going to be consistent? Yes or no? Because depending on how his mood, his attitude is, hopefully he can do well. I just want him to basically, be fully focused, alongside with the Gerard Martin and any other players that he can communicate with. Because the thing is that we don't know how Dortmund is going to come at him. But at the same time, the way I watched him, he played decent. He was very solid at the back, and he tried to make sure that he take the right opportunities, meaning that he was able to present himself in a good defensive in a good defensive key. Is he better than Balde? That one, Balde has
No.
Balde has been.
It's like pretty simple right there.
Just hear me out. Just hear me out. But the thing is that Balde he's been doing very good, and
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. But even though that he's injured, yeah, I get it. We're gonna miss a little bit of his speedness, what he
Yeah.
can do offensively, and all that to create that attacking wing, right? So, but Gerard Martin, like I said, we will have to see because everybody has their own prediction,
Yeah.
their own opinion. So we got to see what he can do. So my prediction for tomorrow's game, I think Barca can come out with a win or a draw,
Okay.
one or the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question though
Yes.
for Christopher.
Yeah.
So let's say right every game right moving forward with Gerard Martin. Would you be okay with with 10 attacks from the opponent, Gerard Martin is able to save 4 or 5? Is that good? Is that good enough for you as a as a backup as a backup left back, able to stop
Mhm.
5 counterattacks out of 10? Would you be okay with that?
Uh, like I said, Barca has some days that they're not even yesterday, even Yamin Lamont, he didn't play his best,
Yeah.
and like I said, everyone is very different. But to answer your question, um, Gerard Martin, like I said, that the game against the guys that was past, and I think that he can do something to prove that what he's worth or what he's valued, right? So this is another big opportunity. This is another opportunity for him to to step up, to show
Yeah.
what he can, to show what he can prove to us.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to cut you off, real quick. I want to say this because like how the club is kind of promoting the left back out of the academy, the Joffrey. I forgot.
Yeah.
his last name.
Yeah, he's really good.
Jeffrey
I've been
Lorenz.
watching him.
Yeah, so
he's
they're
really good.
trying to promote him, and apparently he's been very good this season. So I feel like for Gerard Martin, we know Balde is here to stay, and if he's gonna come, I feel like he has to play well in order to keep his spot on this team. Otherwise, he might go. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, you always have a La Masia player there, and obviously, not every single La Masia player is going to be at the level of a Lamine Yamal,
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
know, of a Kouarsi. But at the same time, you do need those dependable players, and obviously, when you do have
Yeah.
La Masia,
Facts.
it's always an option. And whether Barcelona they should sign a left back, I mean, a fullback is going to be a priority, but I more see it as like a right back.
Right back.
Uh, because of the lack of maybe faith that Hansi Flick has in Hector 4, Koundé playing a ton of minutes. Hansi Flick does like Gerard Martin; he's been playing him throughout the season and everything, and so that's where I think it's going to be going. But I want to go to you. Dennis.
Don't you think? I think at the start of the season, I think Hector Ford played some game as a left back. No, I don't you think he can play both as a left back and right back?
I think so.
He can play, but the problem with him is that he loses the ball too much, and that that every time that he starts a offense attack, he passes it to Pedri right away. He doesn't like move forward sometimes, and sometimes he gets lack of awareness sometimes when he plays. That's was the issue with Flick, why he doesn't play quite that much.
And to be honest, bro, if Flick was gonna trust Hector Fort this season, he would have gave him in minutes way before. Like it's not gonna happen.
Exactly.
It's not gonna. It's too late for the season now. We're in the verge of trying to win everything, so it's not really the right
absolutely.
time to play.
But it's okay. So looking at tomorrow's game, should Hansi Flick make some rotation, no rotation, or big rotation? Looking at our lead and everything, because I think I'm gonna give you my opinion, but I think with Barcelona having that lead, I think 1 or 2 rotations. I think Barcelona they can't afford that. I'm looking at maybe resting Pedri. I'm maybe looking at resting Lamine Yamal, and maybe even like an Inigo Martinez, for example. I'd start Araujo, I'd start Gavi, and I'd start Ferran. I still think that lineup is strong enough to get a result against Dortmund. But what do you think?
I agree with your rotation. I just the only thing I have a problem with is that do those rotation in the second half, not in the first half, because you never
Yeah,
know what
right.
would happen on the away ground. With the away crowd, if we get scored early on, everything can change. Even though we have a 4-0 lead, because if you don't have controller like Pedri, between the midfield, you don't know what will happen, because we saw in the, I think, I don't know which game, last game or game before that, because when Pedri came off, we face more counter attacks than we face,
Yeah.
entirety of the game. So yeah, so I totally agree with your substitution. Just do those substitution in the
Yeah.
second half.
Okay. What do you think, NJ?
Yeah, I agree with with Saka what he said. But for me, if you wanna rest, Inigo, then you play what like Eric Garcia with Cabarsi or
Mm.
just so like
Well, it's not so much of resting Inigo Martinez. It's more that like
yeah,
he is one yellow card away from being
exactly.
suspended.
That also because again we really need him against Inter because how do you know that Inter's
Exactly.
gonna because Inter's gonna be the most important. It's gonna be the opponent that we're gonna face anyways. Then also for the wing, and I'm like I don't like Ferran as a wing because he can't really produce him because
Yeah, true.
him and Lewandowski always collide with one another. So
Mhm.
I don't really like that Ferran wing. I'd rather have him starting as a number nine. So I won't be surprised if he starts as a number nine to be honest. Then Lewandowski. But for the midfield, I would say Gavi and De Jong.
Gavi and De Jong. Okay, okay. Jonas, what do you think Hansi Flick is going to do? How do you field, the lineup against Borussia Dortmund?
I mean, for me, I would obviously Inigo. I would not even play him this game, right?
Yeah.
You win yellow and you're out of the first leg. It's not worth it, right? It's not like it's 0-0 or it's like, you know what, if he gets a yellow, there might not be a tomorrow. No, there probably is. So I'm not gonna, play Inigo Martinez. I'll probably also Lamine Yamal, I think I would rest him to be honest. Like I'll keep him on the bench. I would actually start Pedri. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if we go
Okay,
too
start Padre.
I think you have to start one of Lamine or
Yeah,
Pedri.
you
You
have
know,
to.
if you rest both of them, that's in my opinion, resting those two players is equal to
Yeah,
resting like 5 or 6 because of
yeah.
how they impact our team.
Yeah.
I would probably start Pedri, maybe some out if we're winning, right?
You're gonna
Um,
make
and then
you're gonna
out
make
of
De
the
Jong work more though.
yeah, Dion
That's
could
the thing. Yeah,
yeah,
you
and
make
then
De Jong work more.
I would
That's
probably
how he
actually
plays. Yeah,
you know what also I would do? I think
yeah.
Ferran and Rafinha. I would start Ferran and Rafinha, and then the third attacker. I don't know
Pau
who.
Victor.
It might be Pal Victor. I don't know. No, I doubt that.
or
Like,
Ansu
what winger
Fatigue.
do we have? What
Because
winger do we
Ansu, he
have?
does. This is the thing with Flick though. Like he hasn't trusted Ansu really. He hasn't really
Yeah.
trusted Pal Victor. So it's like who's gonna start at the other attacker? You know what I'm saying?
Oh wait though. So I would say start Inigo so that he can miss the first leg, then he can come back the second leg. Because again, if he plays in the second leg right, and he gets a yellow, he will miss the final, right? So might as well just play him.
No. The thing is after the quarterfinals, the yellow cards are wiped.
Yeah, they're right.
Oh,
They're
what
wiped
the
off.
heck?
That's why, like, if I'm Hansi Flick, I don't even play Inigo like
I'm
in
not
this
playing
match.
Inigo.
I play Araujo. I think Araujo is perfectly fine against Borussia Dortmund.
Wait. What did you say again? Wait. So after this game, all the
Yeah, so
yellows
if
Yellow
will be
cards
gone.
yeah,
restart. They restart.
Inigo already is on a yellow card. If he gets a yellow card in this match, he will be suspended for the first leg of the semi-final of the
Yeah,
Champions
yeah,
League.
yeah. No, but
Exactly.
then, after this right, this game, it goes back to zero
Yeah,
again.
after the
Yeah,
yeah, if he
Oh,
doesn't
what?
play
When
this
did he
game,
turn purple?
he won't get a yellow card. So after that, in the
Okay.
semi-finals, he wouldn't have
That makes
any
sense. Okay.
yellows.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay, never mind. Okay, my bad. I
Uh
didn't know
huh.
that.
and I
What
No.
the
will
heck?
Also,
say
let's
this.
be honest, if Inigo plays this game and he gets a yellow
Yeah,
card and he gets suspended, then Gerard Martin is getting cooked in the semi-finals first leg because
yeah.
nobody would be
Channel
there
check.
to cover him.
Yeah.
You know what it is? Like genuinely, I feel like that. Like bro, some of our players legit don't get rest, and it's tough because there's no other games. There's no
Yeah.
games
Yeah.
that are going to
Mhm.
get rest anymore because we could potentially win a treble, right? We might win 2 trophies out of 3, but it's like Pedri, right? Lamine, right? Jules Koundé, those 3 don't
That's what I
rest.
don't.
Put
That's
them in the team
that's what
every
I don't get. Look at Kunde. Hector Ford. Can't be that bad. He can't even get any minutes. Even Ansu Fati is getting minutes at this point.
You know why I
Yeah.
think so
Yeah.
though? I think that remember when Hector Ford played against Las Palmas and he didn't play good. I'm not gonna lie, and he gave him a goal. And ever since then, he hasn't played him.
Yeah. He got
No, but
caught so much.
I mean, I think I would say just having like, let's say, one bad cameo, I don't
I
think
know.
it's worthy enough to just absolutely like cook the guy. But Christopher, if you're Hansi Flick, what do you do ahead of Borussia Dortmund? How do you field your team? Because Dani Olmo is back. Do you start Dani Olmo? Do you start Gavi in the base of the midfield? Do you start him in the 10? Do you start Ferran? Do you start Inigo? What would you do if you're Hansi Flick?
If I was Hansi Flick, yeah, well, I know all of you guys have your own opinion, but this is my thing. I think that I think Hansi Flick should start. I know you guys are not going to agree with me, but I think he should start Ansu and see how things.
Wow.
That's my thing.
Wow.
Yeah,
I agree
fair
with
enough.
you.
Fair
No,
enough.
I would say give him a chance on a rotation. But the thing is, you got to look at the tempo of how the game is going because anything can happen, right? If
Yeah.
Dortmund is basically attacking, and if Hansi Flick sees that there's no offensive power, then he has the right to do something that, okay, you know what, I got to make changes because we've seen coaches making changes in Champions League that, okay, you know what, I can if I don't see something good from you, then I got to sub you off in about maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
Just to change.
If you're going to be starting Ansu, who would you rest in that front line?
I want to see the combination of I want to see how Ansu and combine with Ferran Torres if they can work with each other.
Okay.
In the midfield.
Wait. But then you'd be making two substitutions. I mean, like two rotations in that front line, or would you necessarily be like having like I'm assuming Ansu Fati, Ferran, Lamine Yamal. Would that be your front line?
Well, depending on the formation, I don't know what kind of formation he's going to use.
Same formation.
Yeah, it's a 4-2-3-1.
It could be a 4-3-2-1. But like I said, if he's going to start two, and you know he like Hansi Flick knows what to do. He knows who to sub off and who knows who to come on. But also in the midfield, I'll give Gavi. I don't know if he's going to start. I think he might start. I don't know if Pedro's
Most
going to
likely.
play.
Yeah.
Most likely, but I don't know about Frankie De Jong. On defense too, Arujo. Probably David Garcia. To me, David Garcia has been playing.
Okay, so Eric Garcia.
Solidly.
Yeah.
Right back.
Kunde. We already know that.
No. Yeah, it's gonna be Kunde. It's gonna be
You already know
Kunde.
that.
Okay, but let's say if Kunde wasn't playing, who do you think is going to be that person to fill in that right back? If
Either Ford or Eric Garcia. Either because Eric Garcia can play right back as well, but he's not really known. He's more known for as a DM and center back.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm even thinking maybe on Araujo because we have seen that before, done.
Also, yeah.
I see an Araujo before Hector Ford, honestly.
You know what? I also want to say this real quick. I think that I know it's not a big player, but I feel like it's kind of we can see with the eye test that Barca they're kind of losing some energy. You know, like ever since Marc Casador got injured, I feel like Pedri sometimes gets tired, you know, and we see the whole Barcelona team, bro. Like, even though Casador is not a star player, at least he's taking away some minutes, you know, and then Pedri's fully rested. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's just that there's been so much football being played, and that's why I'm saying like you need to find some way to rest these players. That's why I'm saying like, hey, can we at least rest a Lamine Yamal for one game? You know, start a Ferran who's been playing well.
You can't again. Because what he goes, Ferran doesn't add value when he's in the wings though. That's what, and plus Flick is very, very, very strict when it comes to to his wingers. Like he wants them to create, but Ferran's not really known to create.
But NJ, this is the thing. Like this is like honestly, I'm gonna be real with you guys. This is the last time we can rotate. Like there is no other game.
Exactly,
There's no games. Every La Liga game is basically a final. Like unless Real Madrid lose like their next two games in La Liga, maybe we'll get a chance. But
exactly. Yeah,
it might be the last time we get to rotate.
Yeah, that's true. But again, it's such a tight schedule now that Here's the thing though with La Liga, I wish they changed the play to like maximum 30 players. To add 30.
I'd love that.
Players.
I'd love that.
Again, because again, because it's hard to play the 25 players, man. Like what, three goalkeepers? I'm like, bro, that's like already like taking a spot. We need at least 30 people in the squad. That
if you're going to be playing, upwards of 50, 60, 70 games a season, then I'm sorry,
at least
you
30.
need, you need a big squad for that.
Exactly, it's impossible.
Mainly, he asked, can you speak on the Inigo rumors heating up, and how would you integrate him in the attack next year?
Well, it'll be easy.
Well, I think the combination of Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal, we've seen how they've been cooking for Spain. He's starting to actually, cook up and be impressive in these past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But honestly, I want to hold out until the summer because Barcelona, if they were going to go for a player, it would be Nico Williams. But I want to see where the squad is. I want to see where the vibes is, where like what happens in the January transfer in the summer transfer window, who leaves, who stays, because that is going to speak on on what Barcelona's going to do. Yeah, what's up, Anja?
And also, there's a chance that we're able to play the Club World Cup this summer.
Apparently, because I think like the Mexican club,
they have 2 clubs. He owns 2 clubs already, and also that's good. That's good because again, if he play the tournament, and we win it,
Can we play the Club World Cup this season too?
Yeah, possibility, but
How?
I'm not sure.
It's because I think it's like I forgot the name. Was it Club
Something I forgot.
Leon.
It was Club
Something
Leon
like that, that's one,
because
yeah.
their owner already owns another competition. They're suspended. They're not going to be involved. And so
And
one
also,
report came out is that
I
FIFA they're
I read
considering
somewhere
adding
that club. Yeah, they are adding. They are considering to adding one club. I think, but I think it is a Mexican club. So I think I read somewhere that they are trying to add Club America or some Mexican club.
Yeah.
I don't know.
yeah,
I
I heard
didn't
that
read
I don't
about
also.
mind, though.
Barcelona.
I
I don't
heard
mind
that
playing
it's
for the
gonna be
tournament.
from the same federation or something.
Oh,
So.
okay.
No.
Even
Yeah,
if we
I mean
play listen, though. Even if we play the tournament, there's a chance that we're gonna be the first club to win all 7 trophies. So
Yeah,
imagine.
if FIFA wants to make money, add Liverpool and Barcelona, and there you go.
Yeah, exactly. Add those
literally,
2 clubs. Absolutely, add those 2 clubs. Okay,
and go ahead.
so switching and moving away from the Dortmund preview, I want to be talking about now Ter Stegen versus Szczęsny, because Szczęsny he spoke as well as Hansi Flick in the press conference in regards to that. Ter Stegen he's recovering well, and he's gearing towards a return. Now I'll go to you first, Christopher, but if Ter Stegen were to return to 100% match fitness, who would you play in these next upcoming weeks? And let's say Barcelona, they're in a hypothetical semifinal or final of the Champions League. Do you deregister Szczęsny? Do you take him out of the squad to register Ter Stegen? What do
No,
you do?
no, my answer is I'll keep Szczęsny.
Keep Szczęsny.
No, he's adding. No, he's been tremendous. He's been doing a lot. Even before when he came aboard to the Barca team, even Ter Stegen had some. He I will say this: Ter Stegen, he's one of the greatest goalkeepers. But the thing was, before his injury, he was kind of declining in some kind of ways.
Yeah.
I
No.
just don't know why. But as soon as when Szczęsny came in, I know people had some doubts in him, but he just kind of proved to us that he still got a lot in him.
Okay, absolutely. Jonas, so I don't know if you know this, but I am a Ter Stegen hater. I think Ter Stegen he's had his moments, for Barcelona where he's been, amazing. You think about that season where we won the league under Xavi, absolutely amazing. But honestly, when you look at the big moments, I only have negative thoughts and negative memories about Ter Stegen. Obviously, I never wish him harm because I think we keep it professional, we keep it on the football only. But I want to know your thoughts on Ter Stegen. And do you potentially replace Szczęsny with Ter Stegen? What do you think?
Bro, listen, I'm not gonna lie. Name me a Ter Stegen UCL performance like Szczęsny at Benfica in the 1-0. You cannot name one.
There we go.
2015.
There we go.
Listen, the facts are the facts. I used to love Ter Stegen, right? There was a time at Barcelona when Ter Stegen was the second best player, like I would say in 2019. It felt like it was Messi scoring and Ter Stegen saving us, but that's way past it. Like I feel like Ter Stegen right now, right? You have to take away the old nostalgia and all that. Szczęsny's a better goalkeeper for him than Ter Stegen right now. Even Ter Stegen this season wasn't playing good. I remember the Monaco game.
Yeah.
He made a big mistake. Eric Garcia got mad at him. He was like, "Why would you pass the ball to me?" And he got sent off. And I think that Ter Stegen, ultimately, I know that he's speaking out to the media, but in my opinion, I think he has to go. I mean, we're talking about departures. I think him and Ansu Fati are probably the 2 first names. I'm gonna say, you know what? And I'll be real. Ansu at least was fit, and Hansi Flick didn't play him. Ter Stegen, he's kind of getting injury prone, and I'd rather get a new goalkeeper. I'm sorry, bro. In the big games, right? PSG, I know Araujo got a red card, but how many times have we seen Real Madrid, Courtois step up for them time and time again, right?
Yeah.
And Ter Stegen doesn't do that for us. Like, look at Emi Martinez in Argentina. Like, he doesn't step up when we need it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we see Barcelona just get destroyed in these big games. Szczęsny here, right? I can point out the Benfica game, the 1-0, phenomenal, right? I can point out the Rayo Vallecano, even the other night against Leganés, bro. Like, he's had a couple big 1-0 dubs because of him, right? So I think get a new goalkeeper, right? I'll end it like this. Next year, this is what I want to see. I want to see Szczęsny, and I would like to see Jan Garcia from Espanyol. Solid.
Yes.
Super solid.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's been solid.
Also, if I think if Hansi Flick starts Ter Stegen over Szczęsny, I am throwing balls at both of their faces, just like Messi did at Ter Stegen.
This guy.
And I know Hansi will, I know Hansi will catch the balls, but Ter Stegen ain't catching any balls.
No, that's like that would be one of the worst decisions in football if Ter Stegen started a UCL final. It would be like
it's
yeah, and I'm telling you, Hansi Flick will be if it goes wrong with Ter Stegen, Hansi Flick will be judged heavily, and it will entirely change the mood of the public against him.
Yeah. Yeah, because like when you think about like Barcelona's heaviest defeats in Europe, he is involved in every single one. And the one, for example, the one against Bayern. Here's my thought process. Some of the goals, understandable, but I'm thinking about that Anfield one. I'm thinking about the goals that he conceded. I'm thinking like, if this is a Courtois and Alisson, any top shot stopper, they're easily stopping that. It's where any keeper can get their hands on it. Ter Stegen, you're just fumbling. When you look at his,
just like we like to credit the defense as well as goalkeeper when you have a clean sheet or when you defend the league. Ter Stegen can't get away with the criticism with all these, 4 goals that we considered in the second leg in the Champions League. So as much as we blame, Piqué and Alba and defense, he also needs to get his blame. Especially he was also one of the captains.
Don't get me
So
wrong, for sure.
yeah,
So here's the thing though. Here's the thing though with me, right? Like we all agree that either you agree or disagree. Like Ter Stegen is a Barca legend no matter what. That's because he got us win the team, whatever.
You could say that. Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, and also he was part of the worst period of Barcelona after that, but he still stuck with us. But but again, don't get me wrong. Yeah, he made a lot of shit ton of mistakes, which pissed me off and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
But end of the day, you did your part of the history. Like thank you for everything you did. But
it's like it's like saying Cristiano Ronaldo is a Manchester United legend, but if you ask some of the fans after the second stint of him,
exactly,
they won't agree. Just like that, Ter Stegen won a
Well,
treble with us. Of course, he's a legend, but after that, the things he has done, half of the younger fans will be like, no, he's not a legend.
Yeah, you use go for it.
My bad, man. My bad. It's just that like Ter Stegen was not always bad, but Ter Stegen was actually an elite goalkeeper.
Yeah.
The only problem was in the UCL, he didn't always show up. I remember 2015, the one season that he really showed up, right?
Yeah.
The save against Lewandowski, we won it all, right? But I will say up until 2019, he was an elite keeper. But I also want to end with this point. Like Valdez legit made his name, right? Because of the 06 final, right? I feel like that. I feel like that Ter Stegen,
and also,
you don't really have that many moments. You know what I'm saying? Like
but again, with Valdez, he had prime Puyol and prime the upcoming PK, and they were just complete that time. That's a difference. But again, I'm not taking off Valdez in that because he's technically the best Barca keeper we ever had. But with Ter Stegen again, like he did his part. Thank you for memories, but it's time to move on.
Yeah, that's
if you wanna. If you want to bring the new Barca, like the new face of Barca, you have to get rid of Ter Stegen. Like I love.
And also, I would like if Barca went for a shot stopper because we're seeing how big a shot stopper is with Szczęsny right now.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think Ter Stegen also knows that. Yeah, I'm not sure who will start, but I think Ter Stegen also knows that he won't start. I think he's just doing this gimmick in order to get his UCL medal.
No, but honestly, like I don't even want to hear Ter Stegen mentioning that because, like, why are you bringing this distraction, this debate into what is going to be a very, I would say, clinical end to the season.
Everything in the, Hansi Flick has kept media so quiet, and for the entirety of the
Yeah,
season. Now all of a sudden everything, negative thing is happening, and people are discussing all these all of the pitch things
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
unnecessarily.
true.
And
Yeah,
for real,
that's true.
hey,
But
like
again,
let Szczęsny enjoy his moment, man. Like he's
yeah,
actually
but
no matter
but again,
retirement.
hey, no, that's the
He's
thing.
what's it called?
And
He's coming out from
Szczęsny is winning man
retirement.
of the match. Szczęsny is winning man
Yes.
of the match. Let him enjoy it.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
but listen though, like yeah, we all agree that they're saying nothing. I should not play, but end of the day, it's Flick's decision. If he plays Ter Stegen, so be it. You know, end of the
Okay.
day,
But I
we can disagree. For sure that that he shouldn't start. But but again, at the end of the day, it's Flick's call.
okay. I want to end it off with these two comments from Van Lee. But he says, "How can you possibly replay a 6'5"
You're right. You're right.
unbeaten keeper
You're right.
who's
You're right.
on course to
You're right.
break
You're right.
records with a keeper fresh off a knee injury surgery? That's
Yeah,
absolutely absurd. Why would you be placing Ter Stegen?
We agree. We all agree with that. The thing is, at the end of the day, it's Flick's decision. And anyways, yes, we can agree
Yeah.
that Ter Stegen should never start for
Hey,
for
look,
the rest of the season.
look. I would rather even recall what's his name, former keeper, Claudio Bravo, than
I mean, honestly, like his Copa America performance, like a couple months ago. I mean, all I'm saying. All I'm saying.
But again, what you just said,
If
like Bosell, Ter Stegen, and Peña, and
yeah,
bring Young Garcia with Chesney. Because Young Garcia
you
is
know,
gonna be
yeah,
the goalkeeper.
I would
Hey,
have,
Jay,
I
well,
would have started
you
Ter
guys even
Stegen.
see
If
Stegen getting sold.
Wait, it's
we
just a
would
second. You
have
go and
had.
then Jonas.
Yeah, I would have started Ter Stegen, if we would have had a case like PSG, when we won the league already and all these things,
Yeah.
then I would have
That's
started
the thing.
Ter
Yeah, that's
Stegen
the
in
thing. That's
league.
the thing.
But
Yeah.
we are competing for every single topic. We can't really take a risk.
I mean,
No.
you're like, listen, though, like even if Ter Stegen doesn't play the rest of the season, he's gonna get the medal for UCL and La Liga anyway. So he's chilling anyways.
No. I mean, yeah. Van Lee says if Hansi Flick puts Ter Stegen in the Copa Rey or Champions League final and we lose, the fan base will revolt. Absolutely. I just imagine Ter Stegen having his usual, picture where people call him like a statue and everything, where he's just like the ball just goes
Yeah,
absolutely passes his hand and everything. I just see the images already.
yeah.
It's just
Also, Hansi Flick hasn't seen the negativity of this fan base because he has been winning,
Yeah,
so
he has.
everything has been good and rosy. If he sees the negativity, that's why I
Bro,
think he is waiting for renewing his contract for more than 2 years because he
bro,
also knows.
that's absolute facts. Like, remember the day we got eliminated PSG? You go to Instagram, you see
Yeah, look,
Lewandowski,
yeah.
Bravo's
Remember
comments.
Javi, he was getting cooked week in, week out. He was so tense.
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
it is what it is.
And
We all.
my bad, Jay. I want to say this, like, I mean, because I criticize Lewandowski. Some people think that I hate Lewandowski. I don't hate Lewandowski. I just criticize him when he plays bad. I said this semi-washed Lewandowski that Flick's getting the best out of is, bro, Ter Stegen's more washed than him, bro. This guy is always fit. Somehow, Lewandowski, he never picks up injuries. He's always fit, and then he does a celebration. So, like, fair play. You know what I'm saying? I can't
We
even
were,
hate.
let's be honest, we were praising Inaki Peña over Ter Stegen. That much amount of wash Ter Stegen is,
That's an that's it. You just were to call me hater for like saying start Peña start Chesney over Peña. He's really no to me
Huh?
earlier.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I thought it was gonna be close, but Szczęsny's been clear,
Yeah,
man.
I think you give Chesney just in like 2 games here, he will start over Peña. I guess what? Yeah, look what
Oh,
happened.
no, it's crazy.
But
But
you know, end of the day, like whatever Flicks decides that he will live with it through it. He's not gonna he's gonna let fans or people like yo what did you start him over him? Like, nah, he will pick the decision and he will live with it.
yeah,
End of the day.
absolutely. Well, I trust Hansi
I
Flick.
am going to judge. Yeah, I am going to judge Hansi Flick on this decision because it
Yeah.
will really show me, because Ter Stegen is German. He has, played with him in national team. So it will really depend if Hansi Flick is really biased or unbiased.
Yes, and you can like judge him, but at the same time you can't like like hate on him because he changed the way we played the the run that we had in the
Bro,
in the
I'm looking at the comments on Ter Stegen's, like his like quotes and everything, and people are absolutely butchering him. Oh my
You
goodness.
know, but
Yeah,
real
man.
talk, there's no reason to keep your like. I'm being honest. The one
Yeah, it's
thing
no
that he
point.
had was that he's a ball playing goalkeeper. But bro, Barca are hitting a record amount of goals without a ball playing goalkeeper, which means it doesn't really matter. Truly, it doesn't really. You know what I'm saying? Just get the
And,
shots
and,
up.
and also, like, with Chesney, he can play. He can both play now because he
He's all
only,
right. Yeah, he's all
yeah,
right.
he's learning from that in a shorter period of time. Like he can shot stop and he can play ball play at the same time. So we're
Yeah.
solid. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Obviously,
But
I will start techno all day for sure.
absolutely. I completely agree with you guys. But guys, that was it for the episode. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. I will be posting this on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. So if you prefer to listen on those platforms, feel free. Great to see you guys all here. Lovely to have this discussion. And hopefully, we're able to have a fantastic discussion, after tomorrow's match. Hopefully we're able to see, a Barcelona absolutely go crazy against Dortmund and see them in the semifinals to either face Inter Milan or Bayern Munich in
AKA
that
Inter.
time. Yeah.
AKA Inter. Let's be real. Let's be real.
Well, I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not going to be clipped or anything.
I hope we play Bayern. I hope we need that.
We need that one.
I know a unit for Deer and Liam.
Yeah. But all right, guys. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, guys.
Wow.